Okay, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Welcome to a very hot Mugello. Welcome to the Brembo Grand Prix of Italy, round 9 of this year's MotoGP World Championship. The first of 4 races in the next 5 weekends. The first of 7 double headers that take us all the way through to the final Grand Prix of the season in Valencia in mid-November. We're joined by 4 riders, led by Ducati Lenovo team rider Marc Marquez. Marc leading the World Championship by 32 points, winner of 7 sprints so far this season, winner of 4 Grand Prix. Marc this weekend going for his 100th pole position and potentially the 93rd victory of his career. To Marc's right, we welcome his Ducati Lenovo teammate Pecco Bagnaia. Pecco 3rd in the World Championship. What an amazing record he has here in MotoGP. Winner of both sprints and winner of the last 3 Grand Prix here in front of his home crowd. On the far left is Aprilia racing rider Marco Bezzecchi. Marco 7th of the World Championship, his first MotoGP front row here back in 2022. And 2 years ago, he was 3rd in the Tissot Sprint. And completing the lineup is Red Bull KTM factory racing rider Pedro Acosta. Pedro 8th in the World Championship. Moto 2 wins here in 2022 and 2023. And he was 3rd in the sprint here last year. Gentlemen, welcome to all 4 of you. Marc, we'll start the press conference with you as always. Last time out in Aragon, it was the perfect weekend. The best weekend for a rider in 10 years in MotoGP. First time here in Mugello in Ducati Red. Current form suggests you are the rider to beat. A lot of riders have said you are the rider to beat here this weekend. So what's your view coming into this Italian Grand Prix, Marc?
Yeah, of course, after Aragon we arrived in a very good form and the test has been good. We will try to keep the same level, but yeah, let's see. I know that we arrive in a circuit where it's the home GP for Ducati, home GP for my teammate Pecco that has won a lot of last 3 years or last I don't know even more.
Last 3. Yeah.
Last 3, yes. So I expect a very strong Pecco, but also a very strong Alex, because it's a circuit where normally he's very fast. Let's see if we can be with them, because if we can be with them, will be already a very good news for us.
As we said, Pecco has been the master here for the last 3 years. You're now his teammate. Can you see on the data, or have you been able to identify why or where he's so strong at this track?
I will try to understand this year. Of course, last year I had the opportunity to compare a bit his data, but the bike was a bit different and then was more difficult. But this year we will try to understand even more deeply, and I will try to take profit from his data, not only from him, also from Alex, because both of them normally they are very fast here.
Marc, for the time being, thank you very much. We'll come on then to Pecco Bagnaia. Pecco, as you mentioned, history suggests you're the favourite. The Italian fans are expecting you to win for the 4th year in a row. After Aragon, is the confidence there again for you to keep this amazing run going, do you believe?
I think it's great to be here in this period, in this moment of the season. In Aragon, it's true that in the race on Sunday, I was competitive. But my feeling, I think, is not depending just on what we did in Aragon. So let's see if I can have a good feeling, a good setup from the start of the weekend. I know how important it is to make a good result here, and we will try our maximum. I'm really looking forward to start this race weekend. I love to race in here, to look around and see all the fans, all the crowd, and it's magic like always, the Mugello GP, so I will try to do my maximum to try to keep the pace of Marc, that normally would be the strongest one, so I will try to at least fight for the win.
The next 2 races here in Mugello and in Aston next weekend, 2 races where you've been on a different level really for the last 3 years. How important is this week in terms of you understanding maybe your potential for the rest of the season, given these are 2 really strong tracks for you?
Will be very important to be competitive, because if I will not be competitive here, we can say that there's a problem. So I will try to fight for it. I know that I'm not in the situation of imagine a win in both races, because we know how strong Marc was this season, and we know how strong Alex was this season. So it will be important to restart from the Sunday in Aragon and try to implement our pace session by session.
Pecco, best luck to you this weekend. We'll come on into Aprilia Racing's Marco Bezzecchi. Of course, not your first rodeo here in Mugello, Marco, but your first time riding for an Italian factory in your home Grand Prix. How special is that going to be? And how confident are you can put the Aprilia at the front once again here this weekend?
Yeah, I'm happy to be here for the first time with the Aprilia. Will be cool to try how is the bike in this track. It's a fantastic layout, and also the bike is improving a lot. So yeah, can't wait to ride. Can't wait to see all the fans. The weather will be fantastic. So yeah, very pumped.
Marco, the last few races we've seen your race pace has been incredibly strong. We've seen you struggle in time attacks. You were second fastest though in the Aragon test. Does that give us a clue that you've found something with the soft tyre that's going to help you in qualifying?
Well, in the test it's always difficult. You know, many riders do the time attack, many don't. But also the track is always full of rubber. So let's say that is a little bit slightly easier to make the lap time compared to a real qualifying. Anyway, I had to try, I had to work to do it, and we found for sure something. Let's see if we can confirm this positive feeling that I had in Aragon test, also in this race, but also in the next races that are all important in the same way.
Good looking for those Aprilia fans here this weekend, Marc. We'll come on then to Pedro Acosta. Pedro, best driver result of the season for you last time in Aragon. Obviously, you like Mugello, given the fact you've won two Moto2 races here, third in the sprint last year as well. Is this another opportunity for you to be close to these guys as well tomorrow, or the weekend rather?
Well, we hope. At the end, Aragon was the first really GP of the season that we was quite strong because, okay, we was not able to fight for the podium, but minimum we was able to make some passes at the beginning of the races and more or less maintain the pace for this. Let's see, last year here was quite okay inside everything. It's true that Pecco, Marc, and in this moment Jorge and Bastianini was in another level. But let's try. At the end, we need to put our target to make a weekend like Aragon, trying to be as close as the podium as possible. And if we can fight for the minimum at the beginning of the race, this will be a good weekend already.
We know how strong KTM is here, particularly on the start-finish straight. Nothing wrong with the top speed of your bike. Was there anything that you tested in Aragon that's going to help you in other areas of the track here this weekend? Some new parts you might have available?
Well, I was quite happy after Aragon test, but it's quite difficult, like Marco say, after a test, take clear conclusion, you know, because the track is much better than during the weekend. But anyway, let's see. I think something new we can use here, but nothing outstanding to solve our problems for this. Let's try, like I said, to make a weekend like Aragon that was quite constant in top, and let's see where we can arrive on Sunday race.
Thanks as always, Pedro. Just before we open it to the floor, gentlemen, just one final question from me. Some rather big news relating to 2026 next season. World Superbike champion Toprak Razgatlioglu confirming he will be joining you on the grid in MotoGP next year. Of course, so much excitement about him making that move over. Marc, your thoughts on what we might be able to expect from him?
Yeah, of course, it's nice to receive another champion in our championship, like is Toprak. So yeah, let's see. Interesting to see different riding styles because it looks like in Superbike he's riding always with the front wheel and yeah, super strong. So yeah, will be nice and nice for the championship to have also another nationality.
Pecco, I know you were in Misano at the World Superbikes last weekend, so you got to see Toprak up close. What are your thoughts on him moving to MotoGP next year?
I think it's a current moment of his career to jump and arrive in MotoGP. It's true that in MotoGP everything is a bit different compared to Superbike, so he will have to adapt to the tires and to the stiffness of the bikes. So let's see. I think the first season will be an adaptation, and then if can adapt his riding style and his braking style with MotoGP, can be competitive. Let's see. But it's great to have a rider like him, and will be interesting.
Marco, your thoughts on the World Superbike champion moving over?
Yeah, I was in Misano as well last Sunday. He ride really well. I mean, we all saw his performances during these past years. He won already two championships with different bikes. So for sure he's a huge rider. I think he tried already the MotoGP, so he knows already what to expect. And if he did this move, means that he's ready, you know. And I'm happy for him. I know him. He's a very good guy as well. So yeah, happy for him, and we wait to have a battle together.
And Pedro, your thoughts?
You only need to see his pace from last week in Misano, you know. At the end, he will be fast from beginning. Maybe it will be easier or will be tougher than Superbike, but sooner or later will arrive.
Gentlemen, thanks for the time being to all four of you. We'll have MotoGP Social up later, but for now, we'll invite questions, please, from the media. Thank you.
Hello, here Borja Gonzalez for DAZN. A question for Pecco. What all you have explained about this weekend, do you feel something like an extra pressure about the importance of the GP? And are you going to use anything that you test in Aragon on Monday? Thank you.
It's a pressure that I like. I think it's a great motivation to stand and try to be competitive here in Mugello in front of all the crowd, and it was always positive for me. So I'm happy about it. And then, like others said, in the test it's always difficult to take conclusion about what are you trying about for the grip, because it's always super good. So something we will try, maybe ready tomorrow, but I don't know if then we will move on during the weekend with the same parts.
Hello guys, this is Frank Waying from the back here, from Ziggo Sport. A question for Marc. Marc, you just spoke a little bit about Toprak, and Pecco has also said what he thinks might be things that he needs to change. What do you think is going to be Toprak's biggest, let's say, problem for next year?
For me, not the biggest problem, but the most difficult thing will be adapt from Pirelli to Michelin. I try Pirelli with another kind of bikes, and it's a completely different riding style, different feeling with the front tire and the rear. I mean, it's not the one tire worse and one tire better. It's just a different way to approach the corners. So this will be the biggest difference. And yeah, let's see how he can adapt.
Simon Patterson from the race. Marc, have you looked at the new Balaton Park circuit yet? Because we saw some onboard footage of the new layout this week, and I think 9 or 10 left-hand corners, loads of hard braking, maybe the new Saxon ring.
I like from the onboard cameras and from the paper. I like the circuit. Then let's see there what we can do.
Hi, Melat Cercoles, Diario AJ San Cadena Ser. A question for Pecco and another one for Marc at the end. Pecco, what is more important for your confidence? The last 3 victories in this track, or the podium in Aragon, because you recover confident? And for you, Marc, do you think if you win, you beat Pecco this weekend, can be definitely for the rest of the season? Thank you.
Right.
No, because at the moment the main opponent is my brother, is Alex. He's the one closer in the championship, and then just it's not over Pecco, it's not over Alex, and it's not over the fourth rider. It's Morbidelli.
Yeah.
Well, it's super long, and now start a period that are 2 races in a row all the time. And then we are in a sport where you can have an injury, many things. Still a lot of points. It's not like in the past. Now every weekend we have 37 points. So yeah, let's see. But for me, the best way is in a circuit where I struggle, be close to them. This is the best sign for me. And in a circuit where I feel strong, attack them and take the maximum points as I did in Aragon.
It's more the feeling I always had here, that it's great, but we have to be more realistic and consider that the last GP was, till the race, was quite difficult for me. Then it's true that I gained some confidence for the Sunday race, but it's true also that I finished in the same place as the start of the season, so in third place, close to them, but Marc was playing, and I was there with Alex fighting, and he finished in front of me. So I think it's a point to restart, but we need to do another step this weekend, and it's the correct track to trying to do it.
Hi guys, Sergeant from Arena Sport TV over here. I have a question for Marc and Pecco. It concerns the sprint races. Marc, you won 59 points more than Pecco during Saturdays. So for Pecco, the question is, did you have the opportunity to check the new setup with the smaller tank? And also for Marc, did you change the weekend strategy based on what Jorge did last year? And are we living in a sprint era, basically? That's the question for both of you, since it seems you cannot win the title without the Saturdays.
Of course, the Saturdays are super important, not only for the sprint race, also for the qualifying practice. To start there on the first 2 rows is enough. It's not necessary to be in pole position all the time, but yeah, are part of the game. But the most important is Sunday, and just I try to focus on my mistakes, and I did a few mistakes on Sunday, and it's there where I need to keep going. Saturdays at the moment are working well, and I feel well with that soft rear tire.
I think every situation where you can gain some points is super important, and from the 23 that we started having 12 points also on Sunday, Saturday is super important to be competitive, and I'm struggling to do it. I'm trying to adapt to the situation, but in 2 seasons, I just won the first season 4, I think, sprint races. Last year I won 7. That is the maximum number that Marc already won. So it's true that sprint races are important, and I'm trying to improve, but it's also difficult to adapt quickly to this situation, because it's a different way to approach the race, and for some reason I'm struggling to do it.
Hi, Dimitris Diatsidis from Greek TV here. A question for Pedro, and then for the rest of the riders. Pedro, do you think that your top speed over 364 is one element that you can use as an advantage here and attack them? And for the other riders, when you are behind in the slipstream in this long straight of a KTM, how difficult is to overtake in the San Donato?
Me first? I don't think so. At the end, okay, here the top speed is quite important, but also in Aragon we was fast, and I was not able to overtake Pecco in any moment, you know. For this, we need to improve the traction. That is at the moment our weakest point, you know. At the end, the top speed since KTM arrived to the championship is there for this. It's one thing that we don't really need to care. Now we need to care to put in the ground.
In Aragon I was in front, so the question was?
When you are in the slipstream of Pedro or other KTM, is it possible to pass him on the brakes in San Donato?
Okay. I thought it was with Pecco and them on the slipstream. You cannot have everything on a bike. It's true that the KTM have a very strong engine, as we tried, for example, in the pre-season with the 25 engine, and was a bit, more powerful. But then we lose in another areas. So yeah, they are super fast there, but maybe they are losing in another areas. It's try to find the balance, but this is not the work of the rider. It's work of the engineers.
In Aragon, we are clearly seeing that it's more important the traction and the acceleration than the top speed, because in Aragon I overtook him in the straight, and I think in this track that the slipstream and the straight is longer, could be easier to overtake. But it's true that in top speed is super important, but it's more important to have a good traction exiting from the corners.
I can't add anything. They already explained all. I agree.
Pecco, another question for you, please. Do you know if this weekend you use the same brakes that Aragon Sunday, or 350 or 340?
360.
330. I think that this track is more difficult to use the 355 because it's, the temperature of the brake disc are not arriving to the top temperature for the disc. So we will try starting with the standard one that are the 340 with the low mass, and we will try to see and hoping to don't have any kind of issues like we had in the past. But I think that this track we need the brakes obviously, but less than other tracks maybe could be better for us.
Hi guys, Matteo Miserocchi, Corriere Romagna. A question for Marc and another for Marco. Marc, you are in a great shape, and the other riders are in not so great shape. So, your championship number 9 is really near. How much is important for you to become equal to Valentino Rossi, to have a 9 title like Vale? And for Bez, you do something for make improve in the qualifying, because you are perfect in DGP, but the problem is Friday, and the problem is Q1 and Q2.
Of course, as I say, I'm in a great shape. This we increase. I believe that we increase a bit the level between me and Alex, because both of us we are pushing, and Alex also is in his best year of championship. Pecco is coming closer and closer, and as I said 2 races ago, Pecco is closer than what the numbers say. But part of that, the question you say, for me, 9 championship, arrive, not arrive, the biggest challenge of my career I already achieved. That was coming back from a very deep moment. I already achieved. 3 years ago here, I was on this press conference, I was announcing that I will go to America to broke again my arm to put straight. So I already achieved my biggest challenge. Everybody have his career, everybody have his injuries, his riding style, his character, but I'm happy with that challenge, and now I'm just enjoying. Of course, as a Ducati rider, I feel the pressure and I will try to win the championship, but this sometimes is not a matter of, it's just we won and we try.
Yes, for sure. As you said, our weaker point was the qualifying till now, especially from Jerez to Aragon. We were quite competitive in the race pace. Of course, we are still missing something, apart from Silverstone that I was really quick. But yeah, the possibility was to fight for position more in front, like maybe stay with Pedro in Aragon, or yeah, better than what I did anyway. So yeah, the target is try to work on this aspect of the bike. Is something that I've been struggling. So we tried something in Aragon in the test, and we understood something. Not everything was positive, something also was negative, but it's normal, as everyone in the test. But yeah, I will try to improve my shape and be more competitive.
Okay, guys, MotoGP so short time now. For the last few days on social media, we've been asking your fans all around the world to submit their questions for you. So the first one is a question for Marc. And it comes from Sia. Marc, if you could describe your post-injury comeback in just 3 words, what would they be? This is from Sia.
No pain, no gain.
No pain, no gain.
No pain, no gain.
Like it. Like that one a lot. Next
Son
question then is... we'll let you off the extra word. Question for Pecco. This comes from Oliver McGuinn. Pecco, Marc is the ant, Pedro is nicknamed the shark, and Bez is the scorpion. Which animal would you choose for yourself?
I always been the snail.
Can you explain why?
Because in life outside of the circuits, I'm very slow to do everything. So I was nicknamed always the snail.
Thankfully not the snail on the track, that's the most important thing. Okay, our next question comes from Lena. This is for Pedro. Pedro, if you could choose any track to take your first MotoGP win at, which one would it be?
This one is quite okay.
This one is quite okay.
It's quite okay.
A nice one here on Sunday would be perfect, wouldn't it, Pedro? Next question then comes from Livia. This is for Marco. Marco, I know Bez listens to Brazilian music. I would like to know if he's looking forward to coming to Brazil to race next year.
Well, yeah, of course. I like Brazilian vibes, so I can't wait to race there and to see all the fans there. Yes.
Frankie Morbidelli and I think Luca Marini were both at the test, weren't they, in Brazil? Of course, VR46 Academy colleague. Did you speak to them about the fans in Brazil and the experience that they had?
Yeah, we spoke a bit and they said that the atmosphere is fantastic. Of course, Frankie is, really pumped to go in Brazil. And I also share with him the Brazilian vibe music with Frankie. So yeah, really can't wait to go there.
Any good song recommendations?
Yeah, I like Marcelo Dichu. He's a Brazilian artist. So overall, all the songs that he made.
Good tip. Thank you very much, Marco. Our next question comes from Todo Deporte and Motor. This is for Marc and Pecco. How important is the support of your wife, girlfriend in your career? Marc, we'll start with you, of course. Gemma, your side nowadays?
Yeah, of course. It's important to have a stable life and find something that find somebody that understand your lifestyle and adapt to your lifestyle, because in the end we are traveling a lot, we are training a lot, and yeah, I think I found the best one and I'm very happy.
And Pecco, of course, your wife now, Dimitra, she's been at your side for so many years. How important is that for you?
The balance she can gives me something super important from my point of view, and have this kind of stability at home here is something that gives me more relaxing vibes. So I'm very happy when she's here. I'm very happy to share my life with her, that is understanding perfectly everything. So it's great. It's fantastic and super important.
And just finally, the last question comes from Ezra 14. This is for all of you guys. If there was one thing you wish you knew about racing before your career started, what would it be? Marc, we'll start with you on that one, if that's okay. If there was one thing you wish you knew about racing before your career started, what would it be?
Respect your body.
Pecco?
The awareness about yourself.
Marco, what would be advice to yourself?
Cosa vuol dire?
Consapevolezza in te stesso.
Ah, ok.
Volevi copiarmi?
No. It's very difficult, to be honest, because they both said something intelligent, so... yeah, try to have always close to you some people that makes you feel calm.
And Pedro, finally with you.
I think the nice thing of the life is to learn the things by the way.
Great stuff, guys. Thanks to all four of you. Thanks to our fan questions. Of course, one final job. We can ask you to stand for the official photo. Thank you, guys.